is at. This statement implies to all of us, believing women and believing men. Men have been asked to lower their gaze, so as we ladies, we women have to give them something that will allow them to lower their gaze. We shouldn't try to always take attention. We dress to seek attention from them, which is not supposed to be so. Women, we are fortunate to have hijab, niqab. All these things include how we cover up ourselves. Hijab includes the way a person walks, talks, looks, and even how we think. All these characters should be done modestly and applied to both men and women. We walk gently, even though we are in a hurry, not to walk anyhow. In our speech, using of harsh words, backbiting, gossiping, how we look at one another, the mindset we have. Let's try our possible best to always think positive. Remember, innamal a'mal binniyat. All these things help us to live a modest life. And with modest life, we can always wish that Almighty Allah give us a place closer to Him in paradise. It's never too late. We are fortunate to have all these things at our disposal. We had the holy book to guide us. We had prophets. Please and please again, they all came to guide us into the right religion, which is the Deen al-Islam, characterized by modesty. A man who is shy and modest is an amazing in character. But a woman who is shy and modest is beyond amazing. So you can imagine, a man who is shy and modest is an amazing in character. But a woman who is shy and modest is beyond amazing. What else do we need to uplift ourselves? Isn't this enough to convince us to live such a modest life? Aren't this enough for us to be grateful for whom we are or what Almighty Allah have given us? A woman's heart should be close to Allah, that a man has to seek Him just to find her. And do you think we can live such a life without being modest? My dear Muslim brothers and sisters, it's never too late for us to live the modest life which characterizes our deen, our precious religion. It's not easy, but if only we determine, surely we can go by it. People have come before us. They have gone through difficulties more than we are. Yet still, they managed to live such a life. Quran chapter 24 verse 31 says, "And say to the believing women that they should lower their gaze and guide their modesty, that they should not display their beauty and ornament, except what must ordinarily appear thereof, that they should draw veils over their bosoms, and not display their beauty, except to their husband, their fathers, their husband's father, or their sons." My dear sisters in Islam, my mothers, we should also lower our gaze. We shouldn't display them. We need to cover ourselves. Hijab teaches us to cover, but not to wrap. Let's live a life whereby we ourselves will feel comfortable in it. We wear short things, we walk one, we have to pull it down. We leave our hairs ajar, we move forward, we have to control them. Cover up yourself. You are going to walk freely. Dress neatly. You yourself, how do you feel if you are covered up and you are walking? Despite the communities we find ourselves, doesn't mean we should allow ourselves to be influenced. The only things that should influence us are the Quran, the Hadith, the prophets, the books. We should allow those things to influence us, but not the community we find ourselves, not the people we are with them. Modesty is equally to beautiful. If you live a modest life, you are really beautiful. Everywhere you go, fragrance, is left unto you. So please, let's try as much as possible to uphold this. It's not easy, as one will say, but if only you are determined, you surely go through it successful, comfortable. We are fortunate to have all these things at our disposal. Let's try as much as possible to lower our gaze, and inshallah, modesty is going to be all of ours. This week we are going to talk about modesty for now. Inshallah, the coming weeks we are going to enter more into the pearls, what we see as the pearls, how women we are supposed to be, for them to follow us, to see that really we are the pearls we are born to be. We are fortunate to have such. So please, let's also open hands and uphold it. And inshallah, everything is going to be a success for us at the end. And we will always wish Judgment Day we have a house closer to the Almighty and His Prophet. I bring to you I take this opportunity to thank MAM Studio for giving us such an opportunity to share a little we also have in the course of Deen al-Islam. I am Atampuri Bilquess. I bring to you from MAM Studios. Watch out next week, inshallah. Stay tuned. We have more updates coming up for everyone, especially women. Along my chat, if I had offended someone, please, we are human. No one is also perfect. We pray that whatever we said and is wrong, may the Almighty forgive us. And anything we said that is right, He shouldn't allow us to only be the listeners, but also the doers. And with time, everything is going to be a success for us. Hazza wa billahi tawfiq. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Cherished listeners, that's our sister Bilquess bringing to us the pearls. Sister, I have only one question in accordance to the topic you brought us. That's modesty. I want to ask, how can someone live a modest life?
How can someone live?
My question is that how can someone live a modest life?
As the Quran says, Quran chapter 24 verse 31, and say to the believing women that they should lower their gaze and guide their modesty, that they should not display their beauty and ornaments except that to their husband, father or sons. That's for the female. They should lower their gaze. And that's the same way it also talks about the male, that they should also lower their gaze. So the key to modesty is you lowering your gaze. A man who is shy and modest is an amazing character. But a woman who is shy and modest is beyond amazing. So if only you try to lower our gaze, that's why I said in this hour we shouldn't allow the community or the society we are to influence us. A lot of people will say it's very difficult to live a modest life, but that shouldn't be so. If only you are going contrary to the Quran, the Hadith, following the Prophet and the books Almighty Allah gave us, there is no way you are going to find a modest life difficult. You will not feel comfortable with it. Take dressing for instance. How do you feel if you are walking whilst fully covered? You feel comfortable, but wearing something short, you walk one, you have to pull it down. With plenty hair, you walk, you have to be balancing your hair. But if you are covered fully, with modest all over your body, everywhere you go, it's written on you. And remember, Modesty also leads to beautification. If only you live a modest life, you are beautiful everywhere you go. So I believe your question is answered.
Yes, my question is answered. Thank you very much for your answer.
It is a pleasure.
My team for Masugu so amuti ma'am online radio. Any sister Bilquess and a bon come for the pills. Na the topic I that the pills no so a modesty. A kwanya e be first so I be live a modest life and I sister any to an okay, yeah, the Jumadi in a benevi. Now, me bois same time 1 to 2. The be shy sister Bilquess. I will a feed the so ma'am online radio. Now the pearls none to us and I say modest none to us Eddie Abre and Tina Ebe Kramunina Wabraya Kase. Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Hunger claims the life of children first,
which is why Rasulullah informed Muslims that
whoever removes a worldly grief from a believer,
Allah will remove from him one of the griefs of the day of judgment.
The believers are the protectors of the orphans.
One who cares for widows and the poor is like those who fight in the way of Allah,
or those who spend their days fasting and their nights praying.
Remember, in the Quran, Allah said, and they feed for the love of Allah,
the poor, the orphan, and the captive.
Surah Al-Insan, verse 8.
Salamul Muslimin Foundation Ghana. We are a charity organization that provides food,
clothing,
education,
housing, and a lot more to the needy,
poor, orphans, aged, and widows in various homes,
villages, and towns across Ghana.
Donate to us in the name of Allah.
You can help us with food,
clothes,
learning, and building materials to take care of the orphans in Ghana and the world.
You can find us at first floor Kwadasu Market, opposite Bethel House,
or contact us on 0274 666 444
or 0243 507061.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Parched throat, dry lips, bright sun hanging overhead. Bare skin, sore feet on the cracked hard earth bed. Blue sky reminds me what I already know. 10 miles I'm running quickly out of hope. All I need is water for life. Please God, give me water for life. All I ask for is water for life.